And if you haven't noticed, your body, your brain, your mind is literally, you've literally evolved to not gather information if there's other people around you that have the information for you readily available. I don't know if you guys know that, but human beings evolved to be in a tight-knit community where one person is an expert at farming, one person is an expert at hunting, one person's an expert at cooking, one person's an expert at building huts, one person's an expert at and then the community comes together and each person has their vocation. So in ancient times, as a human being, you didn't need to store a bunch of information about the best ways to hunt, because your neighbor in the hut next to you would know that information. But the problem is that when you have computers, your brain does the exact same thing that your ancient brain would have done. And it says, I don't need to remember any of this shit because it's all in this fucking computer. And what happens when this computer disappears? What happens if there's no electricity? What happens if you don't have access to the information? You end up not knowing anything. How many of you guys can, look, a perfect example. How many of you guys can say 10, I'm not gonna say 10, 5 phone numbers of your closest friends by memory? Really? Anybody in the chat know 5 phone numbers of your closest friend by memory? I guarantee most of you guys don't know that. I guarantee most of you guys, if you got arrested or lost your phone and you were abandoned in the middle of nowhere, you wouldn't be able to contact anyone. You don't remember any phone numbers. There's a reason that happens. There's a reason why your brain is not storing information like it's supposed to, because your brain is, you're evolved to save energy. Your mind, your body evolved to save energy. So if your brain knows that this tool right here has all the information you need, your brain's gonna go on easy mode. You're in sleep mode. You're on standby. You're cruising. You're not analyzing the situations because you don't need to analyze, because you think, oh, the computer will tell me the answer. You don't need to memorize anything. You don't need to keep any storage in your actual brain. We're cooked, bro. We're cooked. You got to think about it this way. In ancient times, the guys who were inventing stuff, they knew all that shit by memory, bro. They're out here doing math. The fucking Isaac Newton, when he came up with calculus, that nigga was doing that shit from his head. He didn't have no goddamn calculators. Homie was doing that shit from the cocoa, bro. Galileo, all of the scientists, all the people who had discoveries, they knew that shit by memory. We're cooked. We're done, dude. It's over. We're cruising. We're sitting on our laurels as a species. We're done. And then the thing is that this computer shit is making us, it's making us even more complacent to the fact that humans aren't even reproducing like they were. And the developing countries' birth rates are super low. We're done, bro. It takes one small thing to happen and our species is over. I guarantee, I'm 100% sure, I guarantee it, if we get general intelligence AI, we're done. It's over. The AI don't even need to do anything to us. We'll self-destruct on our own. We will self-destruct on our own because human beings are inherently lazy. That's the thing that we always forget. Human beings are inherently lazy. He says, this reminds me of my friend's Coke rants. I'm just keeping it a buck, Kanai. I'm just keeping it a buck. Oh, royalty. That's what I was going to say. You know, did I say that on stream? I think I said that on stream. I said that we watched, did I say that on stream, or maybe I said it to Bailey? I was watching something about birth rates, right? And they were making a big deal about, oh, birth rates are super low in developing country. I mean, in the successful first world countries, America, the birth rate is low. And I was telling her, like, I'm surprised this whole documentary talked about all the birth rates. They blamed the internet. They blamed social media. They blamed people being isolated with working from home. They blamed all this stuff, but they didn't mention homosexuality at all. They didn't mention the agenda that's getting pushed on so many people, because those people are automatically out of the breeding pool. If you're a person who's like, oh, I'm in a same-sex relationship, okay, GG's, bro. Your genes are not getting passed. It was like the elephant in the room. I watched the whole show, the documentary with Bailey. I think it was with Bailey. I don't think I did it on stream. I watched the whole documentary, and I'm like, okay, they're bringing up all this stuff about, oh, the low birth rates are being caused by Generation X, Generation Z being in their house, not going out, the internet, social media, the fact that people are working from home, people are isolated because they don't use public transportation. They were put every little tiny thing they pointed out. Oh, this and that, segregation, wealth disparity and segregation. And it's like, okay, but you're not pointing out the biggest elephant in the room. All of the people that are in same-sex relationships or that are pursuing, they don't know their genders. Come on, chat. This is the clickbait y'all wanted, man. You guys wanted to enrage me. You got me enraged now. You're telling me that you're going to blame everything else. Everything else is the cause of this gender situation, but in this low birth rate situation, but genders are not. We're going to ignore genders. We're going to pretend like the gender situation isn't causing low birth rates. We're pretending like two dudes banging it out in a back alley, two lesbian women, that's not causing anything, that's not affecting the birth rates. Come on, dude. And then me saying it on stream, me saying it on social media, I put myself in a situation where I might get canceled. I might get banned for saying the truth. Hate speech, they'll call it. Hate speech for telling the truth. We are literally in 1984, chat. This is 1984. We're living in a world where when you tell people the truth, there's only two genders. You're hate speech. Hate speech. That's the world we live in.